It's time to end the chaos. Today's Thanksgiving. It's a day to think about all the things that we're grateful for. And today I'm reflecting back on the fact that I get to earn money while also raising my children at the same time in a seamless plug and play life. So here's how to build a balanced life while running a business. And if you're new to the channel, I'm Michelle. I'm a mom, wife, and entrepreneur. I've got four small children. My oldest is six. So we're talking very, very small. And I grew a bookkeeping business from absolutely nothing to multiple employees and a marketing agency from nothing to multiple subcontractors. Now I coach moms just like you to make money from home while still raising their children without sacrificing that family time. So, tip number one, the first thing that I really want to go over, if you're looking to live a balanced life, you need organization. So, in order to do that, you need organization planners and tools that are going to help you be able to live a life where everything is streamlined, effective, and efficient. Okay. I use planners. I've actually designed my own, and you can get the links to those in the description below. And basically, what we do, I use these planners to plug and play every single thing that I do. I've got a whole morning routine that's on there. I time block my entire schedule. I plug in, I use Google Calendar for all of my work stuff. So it's right on my phone. So I get dings and alerts every single time that something comes up. I also share that calendar with my husband so he knows what's going on with my business as well and when I'm busy. And then I also use this time to time block different components of my calendar so that I'm making sure that I have the time to meet my work and life requirements. Which leads us into tip number two, which is to time block your schedule. And here's what I mean by that. I'm not saying you time block by 50 minutes at a time. I'm saying you time block different chunks of time that you're dedicating towards specific tasks and specific themes that you're doing throughout the day. And here's what I mean. My first chunk of the day ends at about 10 a.m. It's between 7 and 10, and that's our morning routine. So that's me getting the kids ready. We brush hair, brush teeth, go to the bathroom, change diapers, make bottles, feed babies, do our breakfast, we do our homeschooling. It's all the stuff that needs to get done to set everybody up for success for the day. And then what happens is we go into another time block, which is essentially free play for my children while I get 2 hours of work done. During those time blocks, I have specific tasks that I like to accomplish and get done during each of those time blocks. So during house chore time blocks, it's all my list of chores that I have to get done that day. I have all my chores organized out by which specific days each of them get done. My morning routine is the same every single day. My nighttime routine to get the kids to bed, get everybody situated, get everything cleaned up is the same every single day. My work tasks depend on what I need to get done that day. And all of this stuff is scheduled out ahead of time. I typically take Sunday nights to schedule out the entire week. And then the night before, I put on my boss hat and come up with a list of tasks that need to get done the next day. And then the next day, I'm in employee mode and I do everything on that list. So it's really important to separate, work from your life and from all the other things that you're doing. And the best way to do that is by time blocking your time out so that you have time that you can be efficient and be in the flow to do things properly and get them done on time. Tip number three is involving your family. If you are like me and you've got small children and you have a husband who goes to work every single day, it can be really, really daunting to take on more tasks than you already have to do. And this is why involving your family is really important. My oldest is 6 years old. She's still pretty young, but she helps out a lot. So she helps me in terms of keeping an eye on my younger ones. She helps me with cleaning up after herself, making sure that her sisters are cleaning up after themselves. She really helps me out when I ask for help. If I need her to go grab something, she'll go grab it for me. If I need her to throw something away, she'll do that. So having that extra pair of hands throughout the day really, really does help in terms of just being able to manage a lot of it. And then also relying on my husband, right? When he gets home at the end of the day, I rely on him heavily. We do all of our dinner stuff. We do any cleaning up we need to do. And if I have to pass the kids off to him so I can do phone calls with my clients or do phone calls in general, because tend like to reserve those types of things for when my kids are watched by him, obviously. And so being able to have him there where he can watch the kids so that I can get some of that other stuff done that I wasn't able to get during the day, or stuff done that I really need one-on-one attention with, or I need it to be quiet for me to do that. Having him here really, really does help with that. And I rely on him for a lot of things, and he's more than happy to help out. For some people that might be having your in-laws coming over to watch the kids or dropping your kids off with family for a day out of the week or whatever, but just really involving your family, figuring out what's a way that your family can be a support system for you to make it all work. Tip number four, automating those tasks. There's so many different tasks that need to get done just in life in general, as well as running a business. And so by automating as much as you can, you're taking a lot of that stuff off your plate. And so here's what I mean by that. We have sales funnels that can be automated. You've got paid ads to be able to get you in front of lots of people without putting in the time to constantly be talking to people and sharing your links. There are ways to do these things where you can get stuff automated and get it done. Automating lead gen forms with your email marketing, setting up email marketing autoresponders. So it's once people opt in, it sends them out an email every single week for a whole year. Up these systems ahead of time so that you don't have to be doing all of the work all the time. That's super, super important. Doing batch content creation is a big one as well, because if you can get into the flow and spend a weekend when your husband's watching the kids, just filming and making a whole bunch of content and then setting it up on an auto planner or auto poster, something like that is going to be crucial throughout your month, because you won't have to be constantly worrying about keeping up with your content and making sure that you're getting content out there. Anything in a workflow. So if you send out a package to somebody, and they approve it, does it send out a contract immediately, send out an invoice? Do you have things on automation there where they're recurring invoices? So just setting those things up on automation so that you're not having to constantly be chasing all of this is super, super crucial and super important. We want to have businesses and we want to be able to make money and hit our income goals, but we also don't want to be working 24/7 where now it's taking time away from our children, right? We have to remember we're doing this so that we can have a better life with our family. And we want to make sure that we're being consistent with that by creating automated systems so that we're not having to do all of the things all of the time. And tip number 5 is creating that consistent routine. And here's where the magic really happens, because all of these things are really, really helpful. But when you create a consistent routine of actually doing all of these things consistently, that's when the magic happens. That's when it becomes habitual. That's when this becomes your reality. And you're able to see the fruits of that labor, where you're able to wake up at the right time every single day, have everybody situated and ready for the day. Your kids can rely on the consistency of it so they know what to expect. And it's much easier to manage them during the day if they understand and know what you're needing from them that day, and you've got these systems and you've got these things set up ahead of time. So your business really at that point truly becomes plug and play, right? Where you've got your email marketing set up, you've got your content creation process set up, you've got all the templates that you need for your business, you have all your automation set up for your business and all those workflows that are already happening. You've got your calendars, you've got your habit checklists, you've got your cleaning routines that you're sticking to every single day. So your cleaning is being, you have a nice clean home to operate in. Your business is running optimally. Your home life is running optimally. You're exercising every day. So you've got energy. You're eating healthy meals. You're able to actually stay on top of all of that because of these systems. And I think a lot of times we kind of step on our own feet and we get in our own way because we sit there and say, well, I can't, I'm having a hard time sticking to things and I'm having a hard time doing X, Y, and Z. And the reality is we are going to keep having a hard time if we don't just do it. And I think that's the hard part that a lot of people get stuck on, is they don't realize that the only thing that stands between you now and the future you that you want to be is you right now choosing not to do it. And I think a lot of times we don't want to hear that, right? We want to hear that we're making all the right strides and we're working towards something and we're trying to do it. But trying is not doing, right? It's sort of like, Star Wars, and Yoda says, you do or do not, there is no try, right? And it's true. It really is true. Either you're being productive or you're not being productive. There is no trying to be productive, right? That's just a fancy way to say you're not being productive. And so you really need to take a hard look at yourself and say, where can I do better? And realizing too that you're creating new habits. New habits take time, but you have to be consistent with it. And so what I recommend is there's some techniques that you can do, which is basically try to be 1% better every single day, right? And 1% is something anybody can do. Another goal you can do is try to do something for 1 minute every single day. Do that for a couple weeks. And then after that, increase it to 5 minutes. Do that for a couple weeks. Increase it to 20 minutes. Just keep increasing it. And as you're building that habit and you're increasing that time frame, you're eventually going to build yourself up into something. And a good example of that is when I was pregnant with my last, I wanted to be more physically active. It was my second pregnancy in 2 years. It was really back to back. They were almost Irish twins. And I realized that I needed to do something for my physical health during this time because my body was really taking a toll. And I wanted to be more physically active, but I was so exhausted. I was not in a space to be able to do these intense workouts every day. And so what I did, it sounds silly, but I took 30 minutes of time. I set a timer. I had a specific time during the day that I would do this. And I set a timer and I just literally walked in place in my home room and just did that, moved my arms around, stretched, just intentionally moved for 30 minutes every single day. And once that got to the point where I was just doing that consistently and it wasn't even a problem, I guess the point where I was kind of bored by doing that. I was like, I want to do more. And so I started doing stretching routines and I started finding, clips on YouTube of different yoga stretches I can do or prenatal exercises and prenatal workouts. And eventually I got to a point where I was doing a full scale 30 minutes a day prenatal workout, and I did that for a few months and it felt awesome. It felt great. And so don't be afraid to start off smaller. Don't be afraid to start off, trying to figure things out. Maybe I would say if this is kind of your first attempt at really getting a grasp on your life, I would start with a good morning routine. Say, this is how we're going to set ourselves up for success every single morning. Do that. Set yourself up with a good nighttime routine. This is how we're going to set ourselves up tomorrow for success, right? Once you have those two things down pat, it's so much easier because once you're setting yourself up for success in the morning and the night before you've planned ahead and you've set yourself up for success the night before, then the next day you can really dive in and you really have now the energy, you've got the motivation, you're setting yourself up, right? And then at that point, I would say the next thing might be, coming up with a solid cleaning calendar and a cleaning schedule and setting up specific times of the day that you're just going to keep your environment more clean, right? If our environment's cleaner, then it's just easier for us to operate in. Once you get a good grasp on that, start a little exercise routine, right? Even if, like I said, just 30 minutes of walking in place every day and kind of moving your arms, do what you need to do to build up these routines. And over time, just add to it, tweak it, do what you need to do. Because like I said, the only thing that's stopping you from being the person that you want to be is you right now believing you're not that person. It's amazing how much of a mindset shift that is when you realize that, you don't have to be the person you think you are. You can be the person you want to be. All you have to do is be them. And it sounds so crazy that this is a revelation for so many people, but it truly is. And I had this revelation myself. So kind of tying it all back, I mean, when you're looking at having that work-life balance, the biggest problem that I see is people think that work and life are separate. And when you're building a business, when you're an entrepreneur, it's not. It's the same thing. And so you really have to integrate your business into your life and build it in a way that's seamless, right? Having the different time chunks out of the day to do different things, but really building your life and your business around each other in a supportive environment, in a supportive way. And by doing that, you will be the best person that you could possibly be. You're going to build yourself up for success. You're going to become so powerful in just having dominion over your own person. And you're going to learn so much along the way. And it's just so worth it. And so today on this Thanksgiving Day, I am just so grateful for the opportunity that I've had to serve all of you, to serve my clients, to serve my community, to give back. We donate 10% of everything that we make to the Tim Tebow Foundation, and to just continuously put ourselves out there and have the opportunity to bring home money and build this beautiful life with my family, because I know that there are so many women out there that are struggling and wanting this life. And I just can't wait to help those women achieve that. So thank you so much for watching. If you want any help with any of this, go ahead and click the link in the description below and make sure you subscribe for the next video.